I came across this excuse me, particular clip, and it aired, I think around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on MSNBC, my time. And it ticked me off. We're always being told that if we see something, we need to say something. Well, here in this case of Mateen, the Orlando shooter, not only did somebody see something, not only did they say something, but they called the FBI, which the FBI fully acknowledges receiving the phone call. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm working for the FBI and I got a database and I punched this guy's name into the database and the gun shop owner who called gave his name. If I punch that name into a database and I see that this guy is in there and I see why he's in there, i.e. potential terrorist threat, and a gun shop owner tells me that this guy was just in his shop trying to buy 1,000 rounds of ammunition and body armor, if that doesn't throw up a red flag for somebody to get on this guy immediately, something is wrong. And in my opinion, when they do the investigation, whoever got that phone call, if they didn't react immediately and get somebody on this guy, and I don't mean if the call came in on a Friday, they wait till Monday to get somebody on this. I mean, get somebody on this guy like right then and there. Somebody needs to be fired. Anyway, I'm going to play the entire clip. At the end of the clip, that's where the damning information comes.
Let's bring in Malcolm Nance, Executive Director of the Terrorist Metrics Project and an MSNBC terrorism analyst. And Malcolm, with a good morning to you. Okay, Omar Mateen, certainly not the first so-called lone wolf who's been investigated prior to carrying out violence. A couple examples: Tamerlan Sanaya, the elder of the Boston bombing brothers, Major Nidal Hassan, the Fort Hood shooter. So how does law enforcement decide whether or not these people are an actual risk? Where is the tipping point?
Well, this all comes down to good law enforcement and intelligence work. The police call it gumshoeing, where they actually have to go out and physically investigate each one of these individuals. There are over 900 open FBI cases in the United States at any given time right now investigating U.S. citizens who may be involved in terrorism. To tell you the truth, I think the FBI might be a little overwhelmed with this issue because it takes intense police work and cooperation from the public. And as we've seen, there's a lot of tips here that may have been missed.
That may have been missed? Somebody calls the FBI directly and tells them that this guy's in here trying to buy body armor and 1,000 rounds of ammunition. That's not may have been missed. That is absolutely criminally missed. To say that the FBI is overwhelmed, that may in fact be true. But when you get that type of a call, I mean, how many of those calls do you really get?
For the most part, the agency themselves have to come to a point where they get more than one tip. Like we saw with this shooter, they investigated him and came up with the opinion that they couldn't stop, that there was nothing there.
Okay, but they investigated him. But if you've investigated a guy and interviewed him 3 times, there's your 3 tips. The 4th tip was he's in here trying to buy body armor.
Till he actually did it.
Yeah, investigated twice, in fact. A bit earlier this week, FBI Director James Comey weighed in on the agency's role in Orlando. Here's what he had to say.
We will continue to look forward in this investigation and backward. We will leave no stone unturned, and we will work all day and all night to understand the path to that terrible night. We're also going to look hard at our own work to see whether there is something we should have done differently. So far, the honest answer is, I don't think so.
That is such an asinine statement. I can't even believe that he said that. If you don't think you should have done anything different from a guy that was on the terrorist watch list, that you interviewed 3 times, that you got a call on that he's in here trying to buy body armor and a lot of ammunition, and you don't believe that anything was missed, then maybe we need a different FBI director, because that is bullshit.
I don't see anything in reviewing our work that our agents should have done differently.
So if that's the case, then what? I mean, does the FBI need to overhaul how it handles these types of cases? Should some other agency take over? Should they do it in partnership with another? I mean, how's there going to be some improvement here?
You know, he's right to a certain extent. His agents did nothing wrong, as far as they can tell, within their day-to-day process. That's true. There is a massive Joint Terrorism Task Force organization throughout the United States. Every major metropolitan region has them that works with DHS, FBI, all local law enforcement. The process here that's broken is not how they investigate terrorist acts and how they try to stop them. The process that's broken here is the communication between people who know what may be happening, like, for example, the wife of the shooter, some of the neighbors, and the FBI tip line is actually a cumbersome thing to go through. Sending out tweets and things like that. There has to be a process where the FBI can receive flash traffic, as we call it in the intelligence community, and flag it so that the entire process lights up and shows we may have an immediate threat.
Do you think, Malcolm, that should have been in place when this particular incident happened? I mean, there's some suggesting the gun stores where Mateen tried to buy the body armor and ammunition, there was at least one of which said that it reported him to the FBI, saying it was suspicious. And this gentleman, the owner of the gun shop, says that he never got a follow-up call. Was this a missed opportunity to catch him before he did anything?
That is clearly a missed opportunity. If we find out, and it's already been confirmed by the FBI, they did receive a call. And this is one of those subjects where the FBI needs to improve its communications process with the public. So it's not something where you can just dial 911 and somebody does an investigation until there's actually a crime committed. But all of the little tips that lead you to an imminent threat need to be able to go into their system, be immediately processed, and set up a flag system to where these flags start to pile up and their agency can take it as an immediate action mission, as opposed to, well, let's investigate this, it's Friday afternoon, maybe we can't get an agent until Monday. This is where the process is broken, their communication with the United States public.
Okay. Malcolm Nance, thanks.
I don't know about you, but if they didn't have a flash system in place, that obviously is poor planning, no foresight, no nothing. Because you could have information where a guy could physically tell you, hey, look, I'm going out to go shoot, 100 people. And you call into the FBI and nothing happens. I mean, nothing happened. System's broken, and they need to do an overhaul, especially if everybody's jumping up and down as much as they are about terrorism. If you get this type of a call, and again, if it's just one call, the guy's name's not in any kind of a database somewhere, I might be a lot more willing to accept it. But this guy's name was already in the database. They knew they had a problem, and they just did not react.